What's good, everyone? This is Jin on the Jin&Nolar channel. It's been a while since I've done a kaioken mechanic video, so it was bound to be time for another one, but funny enough, I actually realized the other day that I have not done it for this particular unit. Considering how crazy this free-to-play unit is, I'm actually quite shocked I haven't covered it from a, kaioken mechanic test showcase. Now, for those that are, hopping onto the video or channel for the first time, essentially the kaioken mechanic testing is basically this. Units that are able to stack either attack or defense, or in some cases both, you do have a 99 turn limit in terms of being able to continue to stack. So with that being said, over the course of the 99 total turns, you are going to end up seeing some ridiculous numbers, and these guys are no exception. Quite contrary, in addition to that, these guys are probably one of the craziest I've seen from this type of test environment, and the fact that they're free to play makes them even more scary, I guess, for the lack of better words. But I think what I need to do here is just kind of talk about the unit itself. Now, just to give you guys some narrative on this, I did link these guys up with the EZA version of the tech free-to-play Roshi and Tien as well, and you'll see the EZA version of the physical type UI Goku on rotation of the floater in support. But the duo units, they link up extremely well. And if you have, I posted a different video the other day showcasing all of these free-to-play units on LR Goku and Frieza led team, and even on a normal setting like Infinite Dragon Ball History, they perform extremely well. So if you're looking for a more realistic showcase of the units, definitely check out the video in the pinned comment. Now, let me just get started and talk about the skill sets for the Krillin and Android 18. I guess the card name is Highly Compatible Spousal Power, I guess, aka the power of marriage, I guess. But these guys are quite phenomenal from a free-to-play standpoint. And I do highly recommend you guys go through the grinding of the units and link levels and whatnot if you're on the global side checking this video out. Now, from a super attack standpoint, they greatly raise attack and causes supreme damage. So that in itself is going to be a, I think, 50% equivalent within the 99 turn limit. So that in itself is pretty crazy. So this is why you're going to see the numbers you're going to see later on. The passive skill is the ability to change physical type key spheres and intelligence type key spheres, and then once you're able to acquire at least 5 or more of the intelligence type key spheres, you're able to launch an additional super attack. In addition to that, attack and defense will increase by 30% with each attack performed, up to 180%. So all those combinations work out to where that's why you essentially end up seeing ridiculous numbers like you do. Even in a normal setting like Infinite Dragon Ball History, you're able to get these guys with each super attack being upwards of like 7 million in attack stats. And you got to understand, if you're able to obtain 5 or more of those intelligence key spheres, you're pretty much guaranteed an additional super attack. And if you have decent levels in the potential systems toward additionals, you're looking at up to 3 super attacks on one rotation, and they're easily gonna hit, like, I would say, like, conservatively speaking, they'll easily be able to, get to like 5 million without any issues on any sort of event, probably outside of like simple Dokkan events. So the only issue I had with this particular one, and I've done a lot of these types of kaioken mechanic videos, and this one was a little bit difficult, more so than others, because of the simple fact that I constantly had to acquire 5 or more of those intelligence type key spheres. So with that being said, your Dokkan meter essentially goes up and fills up at a faster rate than I'm normally accustomed to. So a lot of things you have to be careful of. And right now you're at turn level 20, turn count 22, and yeah, you see the attack stats for what they are. It's at that point you're already easily overpassing the LR Goku and Frieza that are the leaders on this team as well. So yeah, once they build up, it's just a continuation of how ridiculous they actually get. And trust me, this is only the beginning. Once you get to like, turn 77 or 80, 90, lastly at 99 or 100, I think was the last rotation I have on this video. These guys are putting out some really crazy numbers. I guess the best way to put it is, I think the unit that they're really close to at that point is probably the Strength Videl unit, and you guys know how crazy that unit is, and it's a summonable unit at that. So considering these guys are free to play, yeah, it just really puts it in perspective how overly powerful these are from a free to play perspective. So again, like the Master Roshi and Tien unit, Krillin and Android 18, the UI Goku, LR Master Roshi as well. Like there's a bunch of these guys that are just fantastic free-to-play units. So if you're playing, global right now, going through the anniversary, and you're checking this video out, yeah, my takeaway is, yeah, get grinding on those units because they are very, very worthwhile. And again, I talked about it in the other video, but grinding link levels, I mean, I was able to get all of them done during the celebration itself, back when JP had the anniversary. So I mean, it's it typically takes me about a week to go through the link leveling process. Now some might be a little bit lagging where it could take up to 2 weeks, but I would say for the most part, in my own experience, I'm able to max out link levels across the board within, I would say, 2 weeks. There hasn't been any unit in particular that's taken longer than that. So just to put it in perspective, I mean, you're going to reap the rewards out of link leveling these units. 2 weeks put in work, I mean, it's very well worth it, is probably what I'm trying to say. So yeah, these guys are one example where it's absolutely worth it. I mean, look, it's 17 million, and look, I understand this is very, very unrealistic settings where the turn count is obviously not going to last as long as it does in a real type battle, but it's just way too fun not to do this type of stuff, especially for a unit like this. Where are we at? Turn 58. And yeah, it's like what, 17 million, I think, somewhere around that range. Or I can't even read the numbers because they're so large, but I'm pretty sure it's 17. Let's see what their actual attack stats are at this point. Yeah, that's definitely 20 million. I mean, it's a free-to-play unit. That's all I can tell you. And I've done a lot of these testings, like the Kaioken Blue Gokus. I've done it with Tech Vegito Blue. I've done it with all sorts of different units. And the reason why I chose the Tech Super Saiyan Broly stage of the Dokkan event versus the typical Rose one where you're basically treating Zamasu like a punching bag is I knew for a fact Zamasu wasn't going to be able to withstand like all the attacks coming in from Krillin at 18. Like it would have messed it up for me because I don't think he would have had enough in him to be able to last 99 turns. So that's why I intentionally went to the stage. And yes, it is a tight disadvantage setting for this particular unit. But outside of that, like I really just couldn't justify going to the Rose event and basically going through maybe like 50 turns if you're lucky, and then Zamasu is pretty much dead meat, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is the reason I ended up going to the stage. And obviously Broly has extremely good defense, so you're not going to be able to see like damage points to align with like the attack stats necessarily, but it's kind of like taking the lesser of the two evils, just making sure you're able to make it through the 99 turn limit. That's the most important thing, because at the end of the day, what I'm looking for here is either the attack stats or defensive stats of each of the units that I'm testing. So in this case, like I showed you the defense in it here and there and whatnot, just to give you guys a perspective of what kind of defensive stats they're looking at once their passive's fully built up. But none of these units outside of the UI Goku will stack defense along with attack. So I mean, even Tien, I mean they basically don't have any stacking mechanism whatsoever. So you're at least able to see what kind of defense they have once their passive is fully built up. So that was the whole purpose of that one. It's not necessarily something that was needed for this particular video, but just kind of wanted to give you guys perspective of, not just from a attack perspective, but what their defensive, capabilities look like as well. So I think I've got 2 more clips coming up. One will be like turn 94, and then the other being turn 100. I think the thing I want to say is, I actually kept going past turn 100, just to kind of work out the rotation and get like a last good video or a video clip in. But the weirdest thing was happening. I think at some point after you go past the 99 turn limit, I think the passives reset because even though Roshi and Tien had their passive fully built up to where, you know, they get attack and defense boost based on receiving attack, it actually reset because you get the notification when they got attacked that, you know, their secondary passive was building it back up. So even more so is Krillin and 18, their attack stats kind of came down. So a lot of wonky things were happening. And I guess, you know, to end things here, I do want to know, typically at the very end, I use like a bunch of nuking items, kind of, you know, further increase their attack stats. But in this case, I actually didn't use any items like, you know, the, in this case it would be like the Monaka item and, you know, the orb changing items and, you know, type attack boosting items and what have you. So what you're going to see coming up, and I will just go ahead and tell you, they ended up with 33 million attack stats, and it's in a natural state. I say natural, but within the 99 turn limit natural state, without any items used. That's the kind of numbers they were putting up. So it was not only amazing, but actually ridiculous. I keep saying this, but keep in mind these are free-to-play units. So yeah, it's probably the first time I've seen something crazy like this from a stacking effect mechanism from a free-to-play standpoint. So yeah, that's the takeaway with that. Again, I know you guys typically enjoy this type of video. It's been a little while, so hopefully you found it enjoyable. And you know, I'll definitely continue to do so, you know, in the long term, in terms of like units that come out at some point or whenever. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and close out here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.